start off with some quick bios. So just tell us who you are, what position you had while you were at Winston-Salem State University, and just whatever you want to tell the crowd.
Ladies first.
Hi
everyone, I'm Vanity Jones. I went to Winston from 2010 to 2014. While here, I was a cheerleader for the Powerhouse of Red and White throughout those 4 years. I was part of Alpha Kappa Alpha, was initiated here at campus, and I was Miss WSSU 2013 through 2014, and Miss CIAA following.
We are now.
Oh yeah,
Come on. How y'all doing? Everybody good?
Yes.
Y'all in the church. I like that call to response. My name is Cornell W. Jones. I am a 2011 graduate of Winston-Salem State University, where I served as Mr. Winston-Salem State University 2010-2011 and Mr. HBCU 2011-2012. I'm a 2009 initiate into the Beta Iota chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And I was a 4-year cross-country and track and field athlete. I know they don't have track here anymore. It hurts my soul that last year I graduated, they let it go. But it's all good. We're going to bring it back one day. And also a member of the honors program as well here. What else? That's current. Oh, we doing current too? Oh, good.
Okay, I forgot to say where we are now. So I'm currently a luxury event planner, and then a part of what he's about to say.
So my 9-to-5 job, I'm a feature producer with ESPN currently. I've been there for 10 years. I do voiceovers as well, and I host segments at ESPN as well. So that's been a fun ride. And recently, in the past 3 years, I've founded Mad Miles Run Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. Come on, Joey, y'all can turn it up. It is the most lit, the most amazing, super cool, crazy, fun run club in the world. If y'all are ever in Charlotte, pull up on a Tuesday or Saturday.
And we reside in Charlotte.
Yes. And we've been married. I'm sorry, it's all like for 4 years. Boom, there we go. That's it.
Hey guys, my name is Jontia Brown. When I was in Winston-Salem State, I was in the Royal Court for 3 out of the 4 years. I was Miss Freshman, Vanity's Miss Sophomore. Then I transitioned as junior class president, and after which became Miss Winston-Salem State University, Miss CIAA 2016, and Miss National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame 2015. Where I am now currently reside in Charlotte. I'm currently a vice president of diversity talent acquisition at
Vice President.
I work at Bank of America. I manage our relationships with HBCU, campus recruiting, internal diversity programs, and initiatives.
That's something we don't need to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Kyle Brown. I am a 2016 graduate of Winston-Salem State University. While I was here, I was a member of the Mighty XP Honors Program. I was a Fall 14 initiator of the Beta Iota chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and 2015-2016 Student Government Association president. Also, White House Initiative, HBCU All-Star Scholar, which was one of my favorite things that happened while I was at Winston. I have the same exact job as Tia. I work for a company called Red Ventures. It's a digital media tech company based out of Charlotte, and we focus on diversity. Well, I focus on diversity and HBCU initiatives across the whole Southeast. So I'm extremely excited to be here. Another cool thing I've popped off this year is I'm the host of the Kyle Brown podcast, which, as you see the camera rolling, is definitely on the podcast. So we'd love to have y'all check it out. I'll definitely send the QR code around if y'all want to see it. That's it. Tia and I have been married for 2 years now, but have been together for 10 since our freshman year.
Hey everybody, I'm my coach or Chandler. I did not go to Winston State. Just don't be real. I'm from Winston, from the east side, where I'm at. And but no, seriously, I'm a survivor of. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm a survivor of sexual abuse, human trafficking, rape, mental illness, learning disabilities, and I do a lot of community work in Winston. I'm currently Mrs. North Carolina International 2022. I am on my own cosmetology, on my own cosmetic business with Cultivate Beauty. I also have launched a mentorship program called Becoming of a Princess, where we do every year, we come together and we crown girls from low-income based communities. And so this year we ran a horse and carriage through the east side of Winston-Salem. And I'm also peer coordinator of a wellness counseling center out of Raleigh, and I do that to help people heal from trauma. I'm a social media influencer as well, and I'm a pageant queen. And so, yeah, I think I named everything.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm a founder of Cultivate Change. That's my nonprofit organization. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Y'all doing some big things. My name's EJ. I'm from Trefo, born and raised. On the playground is where I spend most of it. I am the student. I gotta get this name right because I always mess it up. I am the student engagement director. There we go. Of Lit City. It's a nonprofit where we work with young people, high school, mostly high school, but some middle school, but mostly high school, where we are looking to empower them. Most of the time in this generation or period, we see young people as a problem, when actually the change has always started with young people. And I feel that we need to empower our young people and actually believe in them and help them understand and see what's going on around them. And so that's what I partake in. I got 4 things. I am also working at the Winston-Salem Street School here. It's an alternative school, working with young people doing the same thing in that. And also I work with Triad Restorative Justice, where we do restorative practices as well, working with students who, when they get into fights nowadays, they get thrown to the justice system. They get charged now. And so we are coming in to speak with young people and basically be that medium to keep them from getting the charge on their record over a fight. That's what I do. And I've been married to Mrs. North Carolina here. We've been married for 5 years. And
Days.
wow!
I'm sorry, I left out one thing. I am from the 252, Kinston, North Carolina. All my 252 is in the house. Make sure I run my city.
So we're just gonna start from the top. So how did you guys meet?
I'll start.
Or just like your story, you know?
I graduated when I graduated Kinston High School. I actually started at Winston like a month right after graduation, and it was a program called the Summer Science Academy. And so then we had all these Twitter just became a thing, and I was on Twitter, and we had these little group chats like WSSU 16, and everybody had a little chat and whatnot. So I saw someone that was in the chat, and I decided to slide her DM with before it became a thing. So I really jumped in early on Tia. But the crazy part was Tia was up there talking about I'm about to tell this. Yeah. Tia was up there
I was not up there.
WSSU. It's you was being a little.
I was talking to you.
You was like, I don't know if these people gonna be the people I want to rock with, because she thought she was going to Howard, which I'm glad she did.
Can I tell my story?
She thought she was going to Howard, and she was like, I don't know about this group chat. And she had just decided to go to Winston-Salem State. So I kind of like that. So I was got her info, and we just kind of met from there. And we were just talking back and forth, but we didn't really even see each other on campus not deep until October. And I got stood up on a date. I got stood up on a date from this Aggie. I got stood up on a date, and I decided to stay in the house that day in the crib, Rams Common. I decided to stay in, and randomly Tia and her friend decided to come over. My boys were like, we about to do a movie night with these girls. So I'm like, all right, hold up. And Tia came in and she never left. So,
So let me provide some clarity. In my defense, yes, I did think I was going to have. So I didn't know I was coming to Winston-Salem State until July, August. Winston was like my first choice North Carolina school, but my first choice was Howard. So I was really engaged there on Twitter at the HU16, and people were so uplifting and empowering, saying all the things they were gonna do. And then I went to the Winston chat, and I was like, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm not coming here no more. So went to Winston chat, and people was talking a little crazy. The people that were engaged, I will say. So that was a little bougie of me to come off to you like that originally. However, I had to embrace my new journey, even though I didn't know that's where it was gonna be. Yeah, so actually, one thing he left out, freshman move-in day, he helped me move in. Like, he was one of the football players at the time that was helping, like, unpack cars and take them into dorms. And so I pulled up with my parents and everybody, and that's when I first met him. I was like, oh, hey, you a lot taller than I thought, but you know I need you. So after that, like he said, we didn't really stay too much in communication until after the season pretty much was over. And then my friend and I, we were both in Epiphany modeling troupe. So anybody in E5 or know anybody in E5 yet? So we were both in Epiphany modeling troupe, and we got out of practice one night pretty late, but it was like the day before Halloween. And we didn't want to go to Moore Hall. We were in Moore. Like, we did not want to be here on a Halloween night. It probably still ain't renovated the way, I don't know, but we was in Moore, and she was like, well, I'm about to go to a friend's room. Like, we just about to go hang out. Do you want to come? And I was like, sure, because otherwise I'm going to be in this room by myself, and I'm bored. So I didn't know whose room we were going to. And pulled up, like, whose room, is this? And she said, I think it's Kyle's. And I was like, oh, I know him. Okay, cool. Like, at least it ain't complete strangers.
She knew she was going to the Marriott. I was in Ram. She was in Moore. I was in Marriott.
And then they let the freshman honor students stay in Ram. So that was the story. That is luxury.
Okay, so our story, it started off with running. I always say Vanity and I met on a blade of grass over there in front of, the football place. Bowman Gray. Hey, Lord Jesus, it's been a long time. Yeah, 2010, the cross country team, we had our first cross country race here at Winston, and we invited the cheerleaders to come out, and Vanity was on the white team at the time, and she came down there, and her running form was woo. I was just looking like, come on, I need to help her out. Just the way she was running. But that was our first quick encounter. And then after that, I was Mr. Winston-Salem State University at the time, and she was a freshman coming in, and I had a program called Pillow Talk in Atkins. Atkins? Yeah, so we had just a good program. It was a very solid program, guys.
Mr. WSSU holding a pillow.
Right.
For the young lady.
The point of the program was to make sure that freshmen and sophomores, when they came in, they understood what to do in college, and she paid attention, right? So, so after that, we just started communicating a little bit after that for a few months, and then she actually got a boyfriend her freshman year, and I was just saying the dude that would say what's up to her, and then over the next 3 years, we talked, I think, about every single day, which was pretty cool, but I was up in Virginia at the time, and then in Connecticut. And then when she graduated, we started dating in 2014 officially. But yeah, and this was a great story from there. Did I miss anything?
We knew that we liked each other during that whole time, but we had to understand.
Yes, we'll talk about that later.
Okay, I'll go.
Oh.
Okay, so me and EJ's story is very, very different. So I known EJ of EJ since we were in middle school. And we went to, EJ gave his life to the Lord at 15. I wasn't there. So, I'm just being honest. So EJ would be on stage performing with, you was crumping.
Where, don't that?
At Mix 5, it's called First Assembly now. And so I ain't feeling all of that. I was in the streets. Just to be real with you, I was in the streets. EJ was in school. He got his degree, even though his parents lived on like the east side. I dropped out of school when I was 16. And so we kind of like lived two different lives. Like I said, I had a lot of like trauma happen in my teenage, early 20 years. EJ always would write me on Facebook, but I wasn't really thinking nothing of him because I just kind of felt like he was too saved for me. So, and I was just like, no, you like saved, you can't be playing around with that. So I didn't want to like deal with him at all. I really felt like that. And so EJ one day, I was went through his friends' pictures on Instagram, and I started sharing a lot of stuff. And I really like his music because EJ.
Oh yeah, I'm an artist, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry, he's a rapper too. So he really does a very good job at communicating what's going on in our community in his music. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna share this. And then he wrote me on Instagram. And then I think I was in a really good space during that time of my singleness. So I thought he was the enemy. I was like really doing good this time around. And I just actually, my rape happened maybe 2 or 3 months before I actually started talking to E. So I was kind of really nervous because of that. And so, yeah. So then we talked on the phone till like maybe like 7 in the morning. And then we did it. I
had to go to work.
So then I told him, I was like,
I ain't got that job no more.
I said, let's get it early.
I think it's because of that stuff.
I told him, I said, I think you should, what did I tell you? Hold on, what happened? Okay, after Instagram. Okay, so then EJ took me on a date. And he took me to the movies. I wasn't impressed when I first saw him. I'm not gonna lie, but I talked to him on the phone. Well, he can say I liked him a lot because we talked for like 3 weeks straight before we went on our first date. And once I was like, I like him too much now, you know. He's really, yeah. I was like, I like him too much now. And so it took us that long because I had a son and I was a single mom, so I wasn't really about to introduce him to anybody right away. We went on at least 4 dates before he actually met Noah. And then Noah was acting like he didn't have any self-control, so EJ said he's going to come along and he's going to raise him. Because I ended up having a kid when I was 19, and so his dad not being there, he just said, I want to help you raise your son. And then that was 2 weeks after we met. Like, 2-3 weeks after we met. And then EJ came to me and said, I went to my friend's house and he said, you know, you love Jesus and I love Jesus and you desire marriage and I desire marriage, so we're in a relationship. And I was like, well, I've been trying to say this these past 3 weeks. So
I was hesitant. I didn't want to put my foot on the gas too quickly, just because previous relationships, you get tired of going on the ups and downs of dating and getting to know somebody just for not even me most of the time. It was most of the times like, yeah, you just out of nowhere it just disintegrates. You just be like, well, you know what? I'm not finna keep pushing the gas like that. So I was really very cautious while pursuing the dating culture. So yeah.
So good. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
No problem. That's why I do.
And so we got married too. Like, I lost my apartment and I was homeless for like almost 6 months. And so during those 6 months, I lived 4 different places with my son. And so EJ would like sneak me in his mom's house. Me and my brother Chris, because he didn't want us sleeping outside in the car. So he would sneak us in his mom's house. Mom worked 3rd shift, so we could sleep on the couch, and then he'll wake us all up. And then why would you not be there? So every morning he'll get us up. And he really held me down during that time because I ain't really had nothing and I ain't had nobody. But literally the day EJ proposed to me, I got approved for that. He put an apartment in his name for us, me and my son. We got approved for the apartment. The same night he proposed to me on stage at Christmas in the City, performing a rap song, and then we got married 2 months later. You know.
Y'all got some great stories for real of how your marriage has matriculated.
I want to know, EJ spoke on being hesitant to push that gas just because you didn't really know. How do you know when you meet the one?
Yeah, tell me.
I just I was pretty spot on early. I will say. I think I was. Yeah, I rocked with Tia early. So I don't really know how you know, but we were good friends too. I will say that, like, we were good friends. Like, we could hang out together. We were serving like all these like leadership roles together. So we worked well together. We hang out together. She loved to eat. I love to eat. Like, she was also like, I felt like in a lot of ways she may have came off as like the queen, you know, all these different like roles and whatnot. But outside of that, she was really like the homie. Like, I'd be calling her bruh, and I'd be like, she'd call me bruh, and I'd be like, it's just a very cool relationship. We're like really good friends, and I think that was one of the main things that I wanted in a partner, is just having someone that I could be myself around. And that was very, like, early on, I saw that with her, and I really didn't catch that with a lot of people. So not that I even talked to a lot of people, because I've been with you for the past 10 years. But yeah, so that was a main thing for me, is like, she's probably the one, because we just get along so well. We were really good friends.
Yeah, for me, Vanity and I, my senior year, her freshman year, we both stayed in Rams Commons Building 3. I was on the penthouse, the 4th floor, room 45, and she was downstairs. And again, as Mr. Winston-Salem State University at Alpha, I was traveling a lot. I was, on the track team, going a lot of different places. I met a lot of people, and Vanity would come up and she would like help me wash my clothes for a track meet, get my stuff together. What? It was in the nicest of ways. But so here's the thing, like, so everybody else would want something. I feel like they would want something like, can you get me to this party? Or can you do this? Like, all right, let's do that. Can you ride me here? But Van would literally just come up and be like, hey, like, I just want to spend time with you. And to me, that was huge, and that was big in that space for me. And as I mentioned too, like, we both kind of went our separate ways with her and her relationship, and me moving to Connecticut and in Virginia, and talking to other people, as you say. But throughout all of that, like I said, we communicated every single day. And it wasn't anything of like deep stuff, but it was like, yo, just checking on you, saying what's up. So for me, I realized like kind of early on, that she was the one. I made a decision that I wanted her to enjoy her college years without having like that boyfriend that's 6 states away. So we talked about that early on too, and I realized that if I can talk to somebody about that and say like, hey, when you graduate, it's over for you. So enjoy your time right now. And we really had that conversation. She was like, all right, like, I'm here. What's up? So that's how I knew early on when I was able to have those conversations, and she would do things like that for me just to spend time. When I was...
We still waited a few months though after I graduated. So we started dating in December after graduation. So what made you hold on?
I don't know, that's a long time ago. I can't remember. I was waiting for her to come to Virginia. That's what it was. Boom.
And then we still had like the challenge when we started dating in December. We were still long distance from that time
for 4 years.
Yeah, until we got engaged. So that was still, a test to see if this was really a real thing for us, and were we committed to it. So of course our actions and not just our words proved that we were here for each other for that.
And a whole lot of flights. A whole lot of flights.
Yeah, so, when you stick with someone and you make it up in your mind, like, this person had, look, so let me put it like this. Even though I didn't go to state, there were some girls that I was trying to get to know and was trying to get to know me at times. And so one of the girls actually, I ended up departing myself from her because I was like, man, you need to work, you have a lot you got going on. I don't think I can deal with it. And so when you say that to that specific person, and then you see someone who kind of loses everything, and you like, yeah, I'm gonna stick this out. We gonna build this out. Like, I'm gonna make sure she got somewhere to stay. This little dude, man, he's growing on me. Like, I don't know what it is, but like I don't know what it is was drawing me to this. And so it's like that, all of those things definitely grew stronger. Of course, I had strong feelings for over in the beginning, but I think over time it developed into, oh yeah, like this the one. Like I ain't going nowhere. Like it literally hit. I think a friend of mine was like, E, so what's the move? I was like, I ain't going nowhere. But just to be honest, it's I can sit here and try to cap all I ain't going nowhere. Like we gonna ride to the world's fall at this point. And so it hit, like something just clicked instantly. I was like, you don't just stick through all of this. I did have a crush on you when we was in high school. Yeah, that was it too. So I had a crush on her in high school. That was, yeah, when we went to the same youth group. So I had a crush on her. I always thought she was cute, but I also knew she was crazy. I was like, man. Like, anybody, because you know, I'm from the south side of Winston, you know what I'm saying? Like, so anybody, we all, to some degree, when you from the hood here in Winston, you all kind of just, you know each other. And so even like homeboys that I grew up with used to be like, man, those sisters out there, wild. And wild in the sense of, these jokers fight and reckless, like they ain't gonna throw their hands. I'm like, man, dang, she's so cute. And she's cute, like, she's cute. And so years later, it's crazy how, you know, all of that lifestyle, she leaves that lifestyle, mindsets change, mindsets different, and you see her grow into this different, but beautiful, more beautiful woman on the inside. You like, dang, okay, yeah, buddy, you know, we gotta make this happen. But yeah, so it seemed like I always had a crush on her, but that, like, those moments of hardship really solidified. So yeah, we ride. Buckle up.
I'm gonna ask one more question before we open up to our audience for asking questions. If you all could describe your marriage in one word, what would that word be?
I'll say evolving. Because we've known each other for a long time, but every day we seem to be like, there's something new that you learn about yourself and something new that you learn about your partner every single day, and you either adjust to the changes that you're making, or you all have conversations to figure out like why those changes are happening. But it just, yeah, evolving is just the word for me.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good word for us. We try to make sure, like she said, like she's not the same person I met in college. Like she's nowhere near it, you know. That was, 13 years ago at this point? So, and I'm not the same person either. You know, you get new jobs, you know, family members pass, you know, that changes you, grief changes you. You go through things, you go through health things, just life happens, right? And we don't have any kids yet, but like that's gonna change us, right? And it's gonna be like, that's a whole, like, who are you right quick? And so I think that we make sure that we love to travel, we love to date each other. We love to go and I know y'all love to travel too. Like you learn something different when you're just like overseas, just whatever. If you can travel with your significant other, travel with them. And I'm like, that circles back to when I originally made the decision to date you. Like I just remember it, right? So we went on a group trip with my friends to go, what was it, like Boone or something like that? Yeah, somewhere in the Boone or something. So I brought her, and I was like, all right, if she can hang with the fellas, and if I'm, you know what I'm saying, we sleeping together 3 nights, not sleeping together, but sleeping in the same room. I promise y'all wasn't not at that time. It wasn't. Oh yeah, you're right. But yeah, so if she can make it through that time, I was like, oh, like it's real, like it's we can actually do this. So evolving is true because, like I said, we're totally different people now. But we still like each other. We still love each other, too.
That's crazy because I was going to say the same exact word. Like, evolving, because, we met each other at 18 years old. And so, we were kids, and, y'all might not think y'all kids, but, like, compared to now, like, we were kids, and we were just learning, just getting out here into adulthood, like, trying to figure life out, and we've since gone through so many different stages with each other. It's been college. It's been our first jobs. We started our first jobs together, like in the same company. It's been moving to another stage. It's been trying to figure out what our passions are and who we are individually, all at the same time, while like trying to meet each other's needs and figure out how we can be a better partner for each other. So I would say evolving for sure, because now we're in like a stage where, I mean, we do a lot of things similar. We do a whole lot together. We travel, but we're trying to figure out the individual passion and how to just level up, individually, and then also together as a couple. So I don't know. Evolving was the first thing that came to my mind too, for evolution.
But if we want to give y'all another
A different word. You got it.
I would say like, it's not a word, but like, I feel like we're in our stride, like right now. We've been together 10 years, but it does feel like a different one going on 30. That's a whole nother stride. But just going into like a new phase of who we are. Like I know Tia is permanent now. Like 8 of those years, 8 of those years we were dating as a relationship. 2 of those have been in marriage. So it feels very permanent now. So now it's like focusing on like ourselves individually and how we can support each other collectively. So I feel as though like we're getting that stride. Like we know where our careers are gonna go. We know we're very intentional on things that we do, where we give our time and how we make sure that like we give our time to each other and make it sacred. You'll be surprised the number of people that want us to be relationship coaches. We're like, no, I don't want to be a relationship coach. I'm just gonna give it to you. Like, make me a relationship coach. But like those things, like we know who we are. We know like what we like, what we love, who we can really give our time to. And I feel like we're now just trying to really take that stride and take it wherever that next level is.
I would say relentless, because we have 3 children. We've never actually, I came in with a kid, so we've never had any time to ourselves. I mean, we go on trips to ourselves, but not major trips, especially where our youngest is still 1 year old. And I would say relentless, like we've really been through so much, and I've been with a lot of people who broke me a lot of times. And just to have to find somebody that is there to like not hurt you, but to repair you. And when I tried to break up with him many times, and I gave him, even when we was married, I'm like, you can leave, you won't. I don't deserve you anyway. And I had so many of those moments, but he'd be like, Coach, shut your crazy self up. Or he'll be like, Coach, go sit down somewhere. And he doesn't pay me any mind because he knows like it comes from my trauma. He knows I need that extra validation. When I have mental breakdowns, like he just thinks spaces me nobody else has, and he's gotten me out of spaces nobody could get me out of. So facing depression, mental illness, complex PTSD, it really played a lot. And over time, we now have a flow of how we care for each other. And so it's like now he cares for me. I had a hard time with that this week. But, I'm the one with the illness. I'm the one that is overcoming, and he's my supporter and he's my aid. And so I think that when we walk this thing out really perfectly for each other in our situation. So I'm excited, and we both don't have college degrees, not since stay at school necessarily. But just to be able to see us really work and make a living doing the things that God has called us to do with nothing, like with $0, watching God, boom, transform our lives. I would have never thought we would be where we are, doing something completely different from what most people have been through. And I think both are so extraordinary because we all need somebody to reflect and remind us of something. So, yeah.
My word, I agree. What? My word is an anomaly. It's basically to be like out of the norm, and one reason why is looking at where, like, I look at our families, like we are really breaking cycles and aiming to continue to break cycles. My mom and dad's marriage is not the ideal. Thankfully, I have both parents in the household. Pops definitely I always salute my pops. My pops grinds, my pops work ethic is amazing. My pops has always been caring and loving. To this day, like my pops continuously asks in an annoying way, it gets annoying, but he always, you want something to eat? You hungry? You good? And it's like, yeah, I just told you that like 10 minutes ago. But my pops is mad loving, but like the idea of their marriage is not the ideal. I didn't have a good view of what a marriage looks like. And so I think we both can say the same from our parents. And so breaking cycles of, man, like we're trying to paint the picture of, so we got 3 sons. My sons need to see what it looks like for their dad to love their wife in a healthy way. And if we beef, they need to see their dad come to their mom saying, yo, it's my fault, I apologize, I'm tripping. And vice versa, because at the end of the day, those things help shape their view of what it looks like to go out and love another young lady. And so, yeah, like we're trying to break things, and to some degree, it's like both our families like kind of poke at us like, are y'all, like as if like,
So wrong with us.
yeah, like
They
y'all,
say we're weird.
yeah, they like y'all just like y'all really married, huh? Yeah, you got a boyfriend. You plan on getting married? But y'all really married, and it's like, yeah, it's like they look at us like we some type of project or something. So.
All right, so now we're gonna open it up for questions. I see Mason over there. If you could just stand up and project. Of course, that goes for everyone.
Good evening, y'all. I'm Mason King. I guess like a little bit of me. I currently serve as the Mr. Senior, and I'm also graduating. So. Congratulations. Now, I apologize for my voice. It's been a very tiring day. Also, I really like your shirt. This whole shirt. I was gonna ask, like, what personality trait did you look for most in like your partner, like before you found them? Like, I know for me, a big one is patience, because like I've never been in a relationship, so I would need my lady to be understanding when I don't do a boyfriend thing, because I probably don't know what that boyfriend thing is. So I was gonna ask, like, for anyone to answer, like, what trait did you know you needed in your partner?
EJ got an answer.
No,
Vance said she had a list of stuff. I said,
A big trait that I knew that I was looking for was integrity. So, like, after a while, the mask comes off. You get past all that. And so, making sure I pay attention to, I like, sometimes we're not actually paying attention all the time, because love can kind of blind things at times. And you want to be honest with yourself and say, yo, okay, like, yeah, she looks pretty. Yeah, she has some good qualities. And it's not that I'm being picky, because you don't want to be picky at the same time. It's so weird. It's like putting yourself in the middle, where it's like, okay, let me be honest and see, yo, like, does this person behind the doors walk the way that she seems to walk in public? Is it legit? Is it fake? Is it that she's trying to impress people? And I think that was the biggest thing for me, is making sure, making sure that was the biggest thing. Like, how is it that she's actually behind closed doors when nobody else sees it, when she's her true self?